Welcome back. Got a bit of a throat, but I've got a sweet one all day, so welcome back. And so today in this video we'll be reacting to, or should I say, paying a little visit back to Slapped Ham. This is scariest haunted school videos ever caught. So without further ado, let's do this.
How you doing? I'm Callan and this is Slapped Ham. Now today we've got something a little bit special for you. It's some bonus content for the week. It's a massive compilation of some of the scariest video clips going around. So sit back, relax and enjoy. For many teenagers, school is haunted by hormones, acne and unrequited love. In and of itself, these factors are terrifying enough. Unfortunately, for one teacher of a secondary college, a school became haunted by something even more frightening than teenage angst. YouTube channel Paranormal Vision uploaded proof of this phenomenon for all to see. The video, shot in the early morning hours by a teacher of the school in question, begins with the teacher showing us his watch to emphasize the lateness of the hour. He then pans the camera around where we can see that the school grounds are completely empty. The teacher then enters the classroom, walking up to an open window of the room, showing us the outside where all seems quiet. Following this, he turns the camera to show some empty seats. A few moments later, something chilling happens. Take a look. As you can see, a chair in the back of the room suddenly moves on its own, shoved to the side. The teacher chuckles nervously before another chair does the exact same thing. The teacher quickly leaves the room before the video abruptly ends. Viewers of the YouTube clip believe something fishy is definitely going on, though just what's happening here remains debated. One viewer suggested that the movement of the chairs was related to the energy that kids leave at school. It could be that, as the viewer offered, the energy that the students have at school, such as angst, frustration or worry, somehow caused the energy of the room to shift and cause a disturbance during this exact moment. Others disagree that energy...
If that was the case... Oh, we're out to hear the disagreement, but before they... Let's see if they can't guess close, but if that's the case, that would be happening everywhere. You know what I mean? Because puberty, all kinds of shit, that would be happening everywhere. You know what I mean? Like, it's like parents will be like, oh my God, you know, our son and daughter's coming of age. Quick, lock him in the basement, you know, get the Necronomicon out, you know. Draw a pentagram on the floor and sit in it going, oh, please. You know what I mean?
It could have anything to do with what's happening here, suggesting perhaps a piece of string was pulled off camera to make the chairs move.
Could be.
So what do you think's been caught on camera here? Is this just a string-pulling prankster, or is it something genuinely paranormal? Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Dark Ghost Paranormal is an infamous paranormal YouTube channel based in Russia. In this episode, they explore an abandoned school that was once used by the Germans in World War II. The dilapidated ruins of the old school show quite clearly that a fire has ripped through the buildings. Local eyewitnesses say that just prior to the fire, a silhouette of a woman was looking out of one of the windows. Moments later, the entire east wing of the school was aflame. No one could identify the woman, and the exact cause of the fire remains unknown to this day.
「
The teacher chuckles nervously before another chair does the exact same thing.
「
Viewers of the YouTube clip believe something fishy is definitely going on, though just what's happening here remains debated. One viewer suggested that the video of the teacher showing us his watch to emphasize the lateness of the hour.
Could be that,
Dennis, the lead investigator, explores the property looking for clues as to what happened all those years ago.
I said it before in a previous video. It's a shame a lot of these buildings go to waste. I mean, because some of these buildings you could redo back up. You know what I mean? And make them into hotels, shelters, or whatever. You know what I mean?
Shortly into the exploration, the OP sets up a spirit box to try and communicate with any spirits that might be present. Take a listen.
Это ты сожгла это помещение?
I mean, okay, to be fair, this building doesn't look like a right state, but you know, I mean, there's a lot of dilapidated buildings that you see in these videos, don't you think? Well, that, you know, it's like some places was civil witch houses in Russia, where it's kind of like, oh, you see these old houses, and it's like, they're still in good nick. It's like, why aren't they being used? Da.
To continue the investigation, Dennis sets up a series of cameras around the property.
It's not too bad.
It isn't
okay.
long before one of them catches something strange. Two doors in one of the burnt-out hallways seem to open by themselves. A short while later, while Dennis explores one of the rooms, something truly eerie happens.
When I look in this footage, I'm also trying to look for like a white dot. Because I can't remember what it's called, because I'm not that much of a tech whiz, I think, but it's called a mapping or mark dot or mapping dot. So when you, say for example, I videoed my room and I wanted to map something on it, I put a reference point for the software or something like that, so you mask something over it. So I'm always looking for that in footage and things like that, because the problem is a lot of these Russian videos, and I think, well, I'm a bit suspicious since Tim Morozov, because Tim Morozov had some really cool stuff, and then it turned out if you read the beginning of his thing, if you get it translated, it literally says this is for entertainment purposes, it's not real. And I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake, you know what I mean? So I'm a bit wary about these sort of things. Yeah, from Russia, because usually it's the Tim Morozov vibe, you know what I mean? Because his videos are really good, just like that, you know what I mean? But they were fake viewing.
Watching that again, while the OP asks for any signs that a spirit might be present, several boxes and chairs slide into the middle of the room. Later, while conducting a spirit box session in the basement of the school, more eerie activity is captured. The lights turn off, and what sounds like running footsteps can be heard all around.
Oh man. Look at that. That's what I hate most. It's like I said in the previous video backlog. It's like, yeah. So if you're new to the channel, I'll ask this as well in this video. But what do you think's worse for you? What would be worse, seeing something or have something like a noise of something running towards you, and you not knowing what it is? You know what I mean? Because I don't know, if I could see something, then obviously I can run the hell away from it, sort of thing. But the thing is, if you can't see it, one, you can't see it, and two, you don't know what it actually could be. Is it a person, you know, ghostly person, or something fucked up? You know, you don't know, do you? And because your imagination is 10 times worse than what we perceive. You know what I mean? So let me know in the comments, which would you find worse? Seeing something or actually having something head towards you but you can't see it?
After the lights turn back on, his spirit box gives an ominous warning.
It's a trap! Imagine a shadow bastard points up from the door.
He then asks what the presents might want.
Что тебе нужно от меня?
Don't you never turn your back to the door, for Christ's sake? I'm not sure if that should be, if I should be worried about the spirit box, because it's like it's scary. Because like, your soul. But at the same time, it's like having it's like that Joker with a sexy Savnat voice, isn't it? Turn left. You know what I mean? It's like your soul. It's like I'm not sure if he's scared or turned on. Or I'm thinking, should I be scared or turned on?
The spirit box's response proves too much for the YouTuber as he decides to quickly leave the property.
And he's leaving his equipment there. I was about to say, mate, take your fucking equipment.
So what's going on at this old abandoned school?
Oh,
Could a dark presence really have been responsible for the fire?
If that is the place he went to, that the roof gone, then that's screwed. But like I said in the other videos I react to, some buildings you just look at it and go, that could be used again. It's like the old Freemason halls or churches. They could be used again. It's such a waste.
All those years ago,
like
according to this YouTuber's footage,
it's like in the UK. We have lots of churches or old barns that get converted into houses or B&Bs, whatever.
There's definitely something strange happening at the school.
Something
Just
strange.
what that is remains
in your neighborhood.
unknown. In November 2020, Facebook user Gabriel Martinez Navarro decided to visit an abandoned school he had heard rumours about in Mexico. He decided to film his adventure to show friends and followers on social media. However, this outing ends up a little more hair-raising than Navarro would have ever imagined. The clip begins with the uploader driving down a long country road in the middle of the night.
Es que vine a investigar yo solo. Ven.
After a long drive, he arrives at his destination and enters.
I was doing. I bet was you there with me, thinking, "Oh fuck, there's gonna be some sort of freaky fucking face or something behind him."
It's the long abandoned property.
Oh, I think I've seen this one. This is where he actually pulls out a gun, and you don't know he's got a gun because you can hear the chick chick, but you're not sure until after when he runs back over the fence. He drops it over the fence to climb over. Might be it. Might be it.
Not much is known about the Benito Juarez School. It was built in 1954 and sits on a very secluded parcel of land out in the middle of nowhere. After a period of mismanagement, the school experienced a rapid decline.
Bit of a ball ache, isn't it? Having a school in the middle of nowhere. It's like, how the fuck you can get there if you can't have got a car? So, oh, what, man, why are we waking up at 3 in the morning? Well, you know, it takes about 4 or 5 hours to get to school.
Ultimately becoming abandoned and almost forgotten. Locals who know about the school try to avoid it altogether. They say it's heavily haunted by spirits and dark shadowy figures that roam around at night time. As Navarro explores the old buildings, we can see what kind of state it's been left in.
Todo lo que mira nomás está. Esta sí está abierta.
Then, while taking a look in one of the former classrooms, something eerie happens. Watch.
Puro pinche pedo, no hay ni madres a la verga.
Oh, I think this is the one, yeah.
Watching that again, a plank of wood seems to move all by itself. Then the door to the room just closes. This startles Navarro, who starts to breathe heavily. Perhaps there's some truth to the local legends, after all. Unsettled, the OP makes his way out of the room when things take a turn for the worse. Take a look at what happens.
I see it, the face.
It can be hard to see at first, but if we play that back in slow motion and brighten up the image, we can see a face peering out from around the corner of the building.
Ooh.
Navarro Navarro runs off into the night before the clip abruptly ends.
Yeah, see that he just dropped the gun.
Some viewers thought it might have been a squatter living on the property, keeping a close eye on Navarro. Then, how do you explain the moving plank of wood? Given that locals try to avoid the abandoned school completely and that they believe the site to be haunted, some viewers insist that what we're witnessing here is genuine paranormal activity. A Reddit user named WGoEW shared the following video to our Slaptam subreddit, which was filmed near a playground in Austria. The uploader says he was taking his dog Tyson out for a walk when they came upon a playground that was completely empty. The playground equipment was empty with no kids anywhere in sight, yet in the distance we can see something moving. Take a look.
Goose going, whee!
A spinning wheel in the middle of the playground can be seen turning around in circles, despite the fact that there's no one anywhere in sight. Even if a kid did spin this thing rapidly before the cameras started rolling, it surely would have showed signs of slowing down. But in this video, we watch as the wheel continues to spin at the exact same speed throughout the entire duration of the clip.
So I'm just checking out the bling.
The uploader says he filmed it on a whim and didn't think much of it at the time, but says the longer he thinks about it, the more creepy it is. So what do you think could have caused this playground equipment to move all by itself? Was there an unseen entity there that day that was spinning it? Perhaps the ghost of a deceased child looking to play at the park once more?
Oh.
Let me know your take on this in the comments section.
Yeah, I've seen that
down
one
below.
before. It's weird, isn't it? And there's no cut as well.
With a lengthy history of strange happenings, El Paso is believed to be one of Texas's most haunted cities. In this footage, TikTok user Gabe Vidales might have managed to capture something supernatural at the local high school. The video starts with a wide shot of the main building. Noticing something strange, the camera holder zooms in on one window in particular. Inside the room, there appears to be a mysterious figure lurking in the darkness.
God, he must have really good
Then,
eyes.
a few seconds later, it suddenly vanishes from sight.
Maximum potato quality, please.
Why is this?
Oh,
It just
now I see
disappeared.
it.
Why it just disappeared?
In an effort to identify the figure, several viewers have offered their opinions. Everything from a ghost to a burglar and even a janitor has been suggested. While at first the latter two options certainly seem more plausible, the history of the El Paso High School may shed some light on a more paranormal possibility. Over the years, the school has become a hotbed for supernatural sightings, with both students and staff claiming that they've seen spirits roaming the halls. In fact, this photo, which we have featured in a previous video, is widely believed to show a ghost. The image is of a 1985 graduating class of El Paso High School. In the middle of the photo, among the students, stands what appears to be a faded young woman dressed in a white gown. The creepiest thing about the photo is that no one who was there that day when it was taken can recognise the figure, nor do they remember anyone actually standing there in the first place. It's also said that the mysterious figure doesn't appear on the negative.
Now, I was going to say, that's interesting, because obviously, because some of you are thinking also that, yeah, but there's some people who have stood in the other bits of the photo of that fade as well, and it could be just down to bad memory, because, to be fair, I've looked at a lot of school photos and thought, I don't know who the fuck that is, you know, Scooby French and all that sort of stuff, so it could be that, but if they said it's not on the negative, that's even more freaky, isn't it?
Some believe it could be the ghost of a cheerleader who reportedly committed suicide, throwing herself from the 4th floor of the school after being dumped by her boyfriend. Over the years, many students have claimed to have seen the young girl jump from the same floor, but when they run to help her, there's no one on the ground. Could it be possible that the dark figure captured in Gabe Vidale's video is actually the ghost of the mysterious cheerleader? Let's take one more look at the footage. Let me know what you think in the comments section below.
It could be a janitor. It could be... Actually, it could be a janitor, or it could be a squatter. Because bear in mind, if no one's in there, and it's abandoned, it could be a squatter. You know what I mean?
The following video was posted to TikTok by an account called ThaiNice125. It was filmed by a security guard that works at a school somewhere in the Philippines. Throughout the video, the security guard walks around the schoolyard premises, looking a little bit on edge.
Of glory!
As he walks around the school, it doesn't take long for some truly unsettling things to occur. Take a look.
Yan. Yun guys, yung kita niyo yung mga bangko. Guys.
What are we looking at?
Yan. Walang tao dyan guys ha.
I can hear a noise, but I can't see
As you
jack
can
shit.
see, the chairs in the classroom begin to move.
Do they? Oh, at the other end. I was about to say, what the fuck is it?
So, grabe yung...
The longer the guard films, the more intense the activity becomes.
Ito guys, sobra.
Before long, a mass of chairs and tables push themselves towards the door to the room.
Then guys,
The security guard's reaction definitely seems quite genuine. His facial expressions, accompanied by his body language, all seem to depict the fact that he's quite freaked out about what's going on and has no idea what's actually happening.
so, grabe yung...
The video is quite recent, so there's not much information released regarding the video or the security guard that filmed the encounter. Here's to hoping that this man will no longer have any more terrifying nights at this eerie old school.
So...
Posted to YouTube by user Eric Gunner, the last of these mysterious ghost videos on our list is certainly a creepy one. Following two urban explorers as they investigate...
Sorry about that. I work on my feet. I'm in terms of spontaneous. I was meant to look for something earlier, and I've completely forgot to do that. And so it's just suddenly popped into my brain like, you know. So I put it in my pencil case. I'm so done. By the window. Sorry about this. Oh, mind you, it's a good job I did, because I need those for Pride coming up. chuck it in there and sort it out later. Sorry about that, darling. Sorry about
A
that.
supposedly haunted school. It seems likely that they managed to capture more than they could ever have hoped for.
Whew.
The investigators enter the property in the middle of the night.
Get me blood.
Everything seems to proceed as normal, with the classrooms being empty.
Make sure it's shut.
However, just before they set foot in one of the classrooms, the camera pans over what should be an abandoned schoolyard. Instead, the camera captures a glimpse of a small girl standing in the darkness. Strange to say the least, but could it really be a ghost? Later, as the two investigators continue to explore the school, they begin to hear a faint voice.
¿Qué mierda fue eso?
Vents are seen opening, then closing around them when they're not looking, as though they're being pranked by the spirits present in the school.
¿No, verdad? No, pero mira, está la ventana abierta de nuevo. Y la habíamos dejado cerrada.
Toward the end of the video, the pair make their way into a toilet block and cautiously begin checking to make sure there's no one inside. After making sure that each stall is empty, they decide to leave. However, on the way out, a pair of feet can be seen sticking out from beneath one of the stalls.
Ya no pasa nada de todo esto. Vamos a ver si vemos cosas. Pasa,
As the two had just investigated each of the stalls themselves,
Oh, hang
it
on.
seems highly unlikely
I can see it, but I'll move my shit out of the way so you can see it.
to make sure there's no one inside. After making sure that each stall is empty, they decide to leave. However, on the way out, a pair of feet can be seen sticking out from beneath one of the stalls.
ya no pasa nada de todo esto. Vamos a ver si
Bare
vemos
feet.
cosas. Pasa,
As the two had just investigated each of the stalls themselves, it seems highly unlikely that they would actually belong to a person hiding in the toilet block. Could these feet belong to the ghostly child they filmed standing in the courtyard earlier in their investigation? If this is indeed the case, it seems that this
Whoa.
presence might have simply been out to cause a little bit of childish mischief,
Bloody tripod needs fell over. Bloody thing.
and wasn't actually intending to scare the explorers. Still, a presence like that would be spooky enough to drive away most visitors to this
Stand up, you
eerie
tart.
schoolyard. Yearbooks can already be scary enough thanks to awkward adolescents forever captured in photographs. But what if something else, equally as harrowing, is caught on camera? Slaptam viewer Corey S. offers viewers the chance to see something not commonly seen in yearbook photos in his dad's 1984 book. Upon first glance, viewers of the black and white photograph see two young women sitting on a couch in white dresses, smiling for the camera. There are windows that seem to show the trees outside of the house or perhaps a building in the back. Upon closer inspection, viewers can suddenly see something else. What appears to be a man standing behind the window on the left.
Now, again, whilst it's freaky, it's like a Casper site, so it's few views. How the hell are you people spotting this? It's like, do you just go through vintage photographs? Is there someone out there whose hobby is to go out there, look at vintage photographs with a magnifying glass to see if there's a frigging ghost in it? I mean, seriously, how the hell are you guys spotting this shit? You know, straight off the bat.
He appears to be wearing a cap with his hands crossed in front of him, looking directly into the camera. Corey S. explains that his father and his father's high school classmates could never identify who the man was in the photograph. While some have suggested that the picture could simply be a case of double exposure, Corey S. denies this due to the man's position behind the window.
It could be pareidolia with light involved, you know what I mean? But I don't think it's double exposure, because it'd be double exposure of her, you know what I mean?
Frame. Could this man just be a reflection, or could it be a ghostly figure who wanted to leave his mark?
I mean, the hat looks
Love
old.
to get your thoughts on this one in the comment section below.
If I pause it there, mind you, see, look at that first class, I could say it's, might be pareidolia. But actually, before my brain even went, I know it does it fast. Don't look people go, oh yeah, but your brain will make sense of something really fast. Blah 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 blah. But with pareidolia, you can still your brain can still shift if it makes sense. But with that, to be fair, I can see like an old cap on. I can see sleeves on his jacket. You know what I mean? So I can actually see some clothes there.
Our first clip of the day comes from Twitter user Sidio Paranormal, and it's fair to say it's raised a few eyebrows as it appears to show a haunted school. The footage seems to come from a security camera placed in one of the school's hallways. We see a small section of lockers and a few chairs. Seconds into the video, a backpack comes flying out of nowhere. Then more strange activity is captured. Watching that again, a poster that's hanging near the dark space on the wall peels itself off. It's then flung across the hallway. Then one of the chairs begins moving across the hall, seemingly all on its own. It's not known exactly where this school is located, so it's hard to dig deeper into the property's history. So for now, all we have to go on is this strange piece of footage. But what do you think? Could the school really be haunted? Let me know your thoughts on this one in the comments down below.
Ah. I'm not saying they're saying the scariest. I don't even think this is the scariest. The scariest would be if you're, sitting in detention, you're tearing this big, like a grudge bitch or something behind you going, you know what I mean?
The following video was uploaded to the YouTube channel Reiwa TV, an overseas psychic or horror video channel. Little is known about the exact location in which it was filmed. However, it appears to have been captured somewhere in Japan. The video follows an explorer as she investigates an old building. Unlike similar videos, the property seen in this one looks to be in relatively good condition.
Again, why not recycle? Mind you, if people get
As she wanders down a hallway, something strange happens. Take a look.
Did you see what I see?
She moves closer to inspect the area, yet seems unable to find any reason for the window's mysterious movement. The explorer then turns to the hallway and soon notices something even more eerie. Take a look.
Oh, God.
At first, it looks as though there's a...
Fuck me. Excuse me, French. Because it's quite hot in here, so I had to roll up my trousers into like pajama bottoms, into shorts. I can't show my thing, but look at my arm. Not sure if you can see it, but I've gone full-blown turkey on my arms and on my legs. Look at that. It's the skull floating around. I mean, that's because it's... I can't do that with my neck. You know what I mean? Like, oh, fuck. I can't do that with my neck. It's like, what the fuck's that? Oh, look at that.
Ghoulish face watching her from behind the door.
It's like it's got a long neck, peek around the door.
However, as she gets closer, you can see that the face actually appears to be hovering in mid-air.
Oh. You see those red dots on my arm? That's not red dots. That's the light and shadow and skin pigment of my turkey. Sounds a bit dodgy, but Jesus. And I'm getting turkey and goose. I'm getting chicken and turkey. What a turkey is like gone beyond chicken. You know, I mean, like turkey is like when it knows it's time and it's going to get plucked. And it's like, geez Louise.
It looks skeletal with dark sunken features and inky black hair. Clearly scared, the explorer turns to run when suddenly a door falls off its hinges.
Fucking hell, stop it. It's not even the door, I'm just getting
The footage then
constant hits of
cuts, and we're
turkey.
left to ponder just what happened next. This is certainly a very creepy video. If anyone in the audience can tell us what the explorer is saying, we'd love to hear about it in the comments section below. As
Probably
always, I'll leave a
pants.
link to the original clip in the description.
Oh my word. Oh. Oh my word.
Graduations are a time for celebrating accomplishments, enjoying your final moments with your classmates, and looking forward to whatever the future has in store.
It's weird that I noticed that they started to do graduation all and was it? Is it the proms and graduation day? I noticed they started doing that ever since I left school. But when I left school in '97, we didn't have any of these graduation stuff or things like that. It was more of an American thing, and then we adopted it. It's like, although mind you, saying that, was it when I was watching Mr. Chips? They did. I think we did it as well back in the day, but then we stopped doing it for like God knows how many times, and they brought it back in. But
However, not many people can claim their graduations were interrupted by a terrifying ghost encounter.
oh, come on!
At a ceremony in the Philippines, that's exactly what happened. As the camera holder pans around the group, attempting to capture as many students as possible in the
Oh, I've
footage,
seen this one.
you can clearly see a white, ghostly figure standing on the roof of a nearby building.
I'll get more comfortable.
For a moment, it almost looks as if it's one of the graduating students. The white dress worn by the ghostly entity is an eerie echo of the graduation gowns
Oh yeah, I've seen this one. It's freaky. Isn't it?
worn by the students. However, the figure on the roof stands deathly still, watching the students in silence.
I remember when
Many
I
have
graduated.
likened the ghostly figure to the infamous White Lady, a type of spirit often seen all around the world. She's a ghost typically associated with violent, tragic ends, often roaming the earth in a state of grief, sometimes searching for a lost lover or even a child. While it's unclear how many of the graduating students actually noticed the figures standing
Or it could be a girl who died after graduation. She said, I remember when I graduated. It was my last day. Oh, fuck off.
above them, one thing is for sure. This is certainly some very creepy footage.
And if they could see that person, then sure they'd be like, oh my god, up there. You know what I mean?
According to footage uploaded by a local ghost hunter, the Abbeydale Community Centre in Gloucester, UK may be home to something supernatural. The video, shot after hours in the community centre, gives an interior view of an empty room. For the first 25 seconds or so, nothing seems out of the ordinary, until some apparent ghostly activity seems to have been captured on film. Take a look.
I'm late.
As you can see, the door to the centre suddenly whips open and slams shut.
Also sounds like someone scuffled in.
About 30 seconds after this, more activity is captured. If we watch again, you can see that a chair slowly moves backwards, seemingly all on its own.
It's odd the door isn't locked as well.
A few moments later, the camera shooting the footage seems to fall down and the video ends. According to the ghost hunter who caught the footage, the community centre staff and customers have reported hearing various banging sounds.
Oh, you're such an idiot, Tristan. Of course the doors are locked because if someone's doing a ghost investigation there, they'd unlock it. Idiot.
And mysterious footsteps that they
I have my
couldn't
moments.
explain. This is what motivated him to set up the camera in the first place, though the ghost hunter hadn't really expected to capture anything. As such, he was surprised by what he managed to capture on film. The actions caught in the clip certainly seem to show some poltergeist activity. Are these occurrences a prelude to something more sinister to come? Only time will tell.
I'm sorry, you're putting that one after the skull one. The floating skull one was freaky as F. Don't go tame on us, mate. Don't go tame.
When Twitter user Shawbury Bunny set out to create a student film, she probably didn't expect to capture any real ghost encounters on camera. However, that's exactly what happened when she began filming this particular scene in the control room of the auditorium. The footage begins with the camera moving steadily down a short, dimly lit hallway.
Knock, go.
As it approaches the door at the end, it suddenly swings open as if pushed forcefully by the actress on the other side.
Oh, I've seen this, yeah.
However, as the actress emerges from the darkness, it becomes apparent that it wasn't her who opened it. Confused, she appears to ask the camera holder if someone on their side had opened the door. If you slow the footage down, you can clearly see that no one touched the door from the outside.
I would say she poked it, but then again, her hand, that's what she said. But her hand is by her side.
Matters even spookier, if you look closely at the darkened room behind the actress, there appears to be a shadowy figure moving behind her. The footage isn't clear enough to make a good impression of who or what it is. However, it seems likely that this ghostly shape could be the culprit for the door's mysterious movement. That, coupled with the fact that the actress has a genuine look of surprise on her face, suggests that these budding filmmakers might have actually captured some
That's what she said.
paranormal activity on camera.
Did you open that fucking door?
This drawing illustrates accounts that were taken from multiple children in a schoolyard in 1994. Posted to Reddit by user 678990655, the image shows a large disc-shaped object surrounded by 3 smaller objects in a field. Several figures with large dark eyes can be seen emerging as a group of schoolchildren look on. The alleged sighting occurred on September 16, 1994 at the Ariel School outside Ruwa, Zimbabwe. The students were
I've heard about this one. This is quite an interesting case.
outside during a mid-morning break while the staff remained inside attending a meeting. When they returned from the break, several children reported seeing one or more silver objects floating in the sky. According to accounts, these objects descended into a nearby field where they landed among the brush. The students then saw creatures with big eyes and black clothing exiting the craft. Some of the children ran back towards the school, but those who remained had more to report. They say that the beings attempted to communicate with them telepathically. The message was about an incident that was going to happen and warned that humans have to stop polluting the earth. This is one of the most famous UFO cases in Africa, and experts have devoted a great deal of research to the incident. Skeptics have attempted to explain the sighting as a prank or the result of mass hysteria, as some of the supposed eyewitness accounts differ in details. Yet others believe this might be due to the fear and shock of such a harrowing incident.
Yeah, but most witnesses were kids, so there's going to be a difference. I mean, so I'm hearing shit.
While some of the children believe that the creatures were manifestations of characters from local folklore, experts say that the case presents compelling evidence of an extraterrestrial visit to Earth.
Thing is, whilst I'm not... I've seen this clip as well. Whilst I'm not disputing it, because it was on Spice Horror, I think. Was it Spice Horror? It was one of the last videos we reacted to, innit, that had some of these clips in it. But, yeah, but the thing is, it's like people say about, why would aliens bother with us, blah, blah, sort of thing. But there's because the whole idea of the Prime Directive, and you're probably saying, isn't that a Star Trek Prime Directive? Well, no, the concept itself was something that was outside Star Trek. It was an idea that someone, because you get this typical American Hollywood idea of, like, they would treat us like we would treat the Native American Indians, and you know what I mean? But it's like, well, no, it's like, unless we actually made a big impact on the universe, and quite frankly, we're not, sad to say, they're not going to bother with us. It's like Prime Directive. Why would you bother with a... It's like, not being horrible, but how many planets or civilizations do you think destroyed themselves? You know what I mean? It's like when you watch Star Trek, it's that thing where it's like, there's loads of planets that pollute or destroy themselves, and they're like, oh, should we interfere? Should we not interfere? All kinds of things. So it's kind of like, and there are ramifications for that. Even if you think it's, no matter if you think you're doing something for good, it's like the whole idea of time travel, where you go back in time to rectify a decision. It's kind of like, even if you if you could fix a mess, it still won't be the same. That's why a lot of these climate scientists are saying people have this stupid fairy tale that everything's going to be clean and rosy and all that sort of shit. And it's like, if the ball's rolling, you can't stop it, you know, or, no, that's not a good way of explaining it. The climate is not stable. It's never flatlined. It's never been calm and chilled. It's all about chaos. It's all over the place. It's like in Britain, people think climate change is responsible for weather in Britain. It's typical bloody weather. In fact, if you look at records, especially during the time of Roman Britain, our weather the weather we got now in England is 10 times better for what we like now than it was back then. Because it's always raining and being miserable and chaotic storms and winters and all kinds of shit. That's why the Romans didn't particularly want to come here, because it's like, what the fuck's you doing? At least for Greece, it was nice in summer and you had some nice climate. But, you know what I mean, over here it was muddy, miserable, damp, cold, raining. So we got it quite good now, you know. But mind you, the English always complain about the weather. But like the Europeans have said, and like the Americans have said, because the UK is sort of stuck in the middle of the spectrum, as it were. So when we get snow, our snow's nothing compared to what it is in America. They literally got, you know, their front door is literally blocked by snow. It's our weather's fuck all. You know, excuse my language, but our weather over here is fuck all compared to the weather everywhere else. But in overall terms, it's like our weather is like the other thing as well, it's like people complain about floodplains and shit like that. It's like floodplains, and if you've got a house or a town in a floodplain, that's got a lot of people going to hate me and go, me, but this is fact, right? This is absolute fact. And it's common bloody sense as well. It's also why it's cheaper property. But any country that has floods in a town, if you look at their history, they're built on a floodplain. There's a reason why ancient civilizations, ancient cultures that predate the current culture, never built there. Never built any settlements there, because it's a friggin' floodplain. You know what I mean? That's like me it's like me putting up a tent. You know when the tide goes out and it's just all sand? It's like me putting up a tent, calling it an early night, and then wondering why I'm up to like 10 foot in bloody water when the oceans come back. You know what I mean? It's the same logic. But people go, it's climate change. It's fuck all to climate change, because you decided to build a town in a bloody floodplain. It's stupid. Right?
This video, uploaded to YouTube by Alan Abweg, shows that ghost encounters can often occur when you least expect them. At least that's what...
So you'll never get... So the idea that we can stop what we're doing and make the planet a cleaner place to live, but you can't stop climate change. Climate change is a natural force. It's happening. It's going to happen. You know what I mean? It's kind of like... But it's fairy tale, everything's going to be stable. It's like, no, nature works on chaos. The weather is on chaos. Hence why we can't accurately predict it. Oddly enough, though, if we looked at sunspots, we can accurately predict the weather. That's odd, that, isn't it? You know.
Happened to this custodial worker at a school in Victoria, Philippines. The CCTV security footage shows the cleaner sweeping the floor on an outdoor veranda. When his back is turned, something suddenly begins moving behind him. He doesn't seem to notice, but the objects appear to be moving without human intervention. If you zoom in, it looks as though it's a broom and dustpan that slide across the floor. Some viewers have suggested that the wind could be responsible for their unusual movement. However, both of these objects look far too heavy and there's no other signs of a breeze, particularly when you look at the trees in the background. So what do you think? Could it be possible that the broom and dustpan really were moved by some sort of supernatural force? Or is it more likely that the cleaner was simply the brunt of a creepy practical joke? Let me know what you think about this one in the comments section below.
I did it. It could be a joke because I could hear a little snigger or giggle at when they're watching The Verge.
Kakya Sobrenatural is a popular YouTube channel that focuses on investigations of various spooky locations. In this video, the team explores an abandoned school that is rumoured to be haunted.
Before anyone comments, I'm not coughing because of my vape, because believe me, I tell you what, the shock I had when because I went back to smoking, but for about I can't remember how long it was, but for quite a long time, because I still have the guilty cigarette in hand, but the first thing that hit me was the fact that I can't remember if it's over 6 or 8 months or something. If you haven't been smoking for 6 or 8 months, just vaping, your lungs clear. So I had a huge intake of oxygen, and I was like overwhelmed. It's mental. But I've been coughing a lot because I won't go into details, but I've got a lot of crap down in my pipes.
While conducting an EVP session in one of the rooms, the team hears a strange noise coming from outside. As they search the area, the camera holder
It's like a fart.
turns, catching sight of something strange in the distance. It seems to be a ghostly-looking figure staring at them from another building.
Oh, got turkey.
Spooked, the team returns to the room to gather their composure.
Look, I was wearing a red top.
However, when they venture outside for a second look, the mysterious figure is nowhere to be seen.
Could be a squatter. El squatter.
So does this sighting prove the rumours that this school really is haunted? Watch the footage again and judge for yourself.
Looks like a red top.
This freaky ghost video was uploaded to Instagram by Tunkay's channel. School may be out for the day, but that doesn't mean the building's empty. As the video opens,
School's out for summer.
Inside a school after hours, we're treated to a series of lights flashing on and off across multiple classrooms. They're across the other side of the school about 10 metres away. As the lights flicker on and off, we can clearly see that there's nobody in the room. So what's making the lights behave so strangely? The camera
Look away if strobing gets you, because that's good. That's good to get you.
Holder and their companions investigate by walking around the balcony to get a better view. However, before they can make it over, all the doors eerily open up by themselves. Alarmed, the group jumps back in surprise. Seconds later, chairs from inside the rooms begin flying outside. They go crashing into the balcony rails. The group runs away terrified. The entire time they're running, chairs are being thrown and even making their way to the bottom floor of the school, where they smash against the ground. These freaky ghost videos show that even centres of education aren't safe from hauntings. What would you do if your school turned out to be haunted?
It wouldn't matter. I left in 97. The thing is, that school's abandoned. Our school is still going.
So if you love this massive compilation, then why not check out our other ones here?
Ooh.
Or there's a giant playlist here that you can binge on for hours.
Look at the bottom there, that face poke around.
Leave us a comment down below which one of these clips you thought was the weirdest or scariest. We love getting your feedback. And that's it for me. I'll see you all next time.
Well, that was snapped ham. Some of them we've seen before. Some I'm not sure if I have seen before, but I tell you what, some of those are definitely, you know, oh, I tell you what, I had turkey all over my legs and arms. I tell you. Let me know which ones freaked you out in the comments below. Did you get the chicken? And I shall see you in the next video. Sleep tight. Oh, who's that behind you?